So the purpose of this webinar series is to encourage, to support, and just to breathe purpose into each and every one of you. So I named the power of you to remind us truly of the power that we hold within. I think a lot of times when we are seeking guidance and we're seeking strength, most times we definitely look outside of ourselves and we forget just about how powerful we really are. Again, for anyone on Clubhouse who would like to be interactive, raise your hand, come on up and speak. And for Zoom, all you have to do is unmute and you can absolutely be a part of it. So the first question that I have for everyone is going to be, how many of you enjoy being told the truth? You can come up and let me know if you're right here on Zoom. You can raise your hand. But these are some questions to think about. The second question that I'll pose to you is, how many of you get offended by being told the truth? So if you think about that, excuse me, we want to hear the truth, but a lot of times we often get offended by the truth. And why is that? Maybe it's because we have not honed in and accepted the foundational truth about ourselves. So let's talk about the meaning of foundation. Most of foundation you think about of a home, you know, the cement slab that the home gets built on, or apartment complex or office building. But for tonight's purpose, we'll use the definition of an idea or principle or fact that provides support to something. So our foundation is full of genetic traits and learned behaviors, both conscious and unconscious. So I'm going to tell you a quick story about how that works, especially with the genetics part. So when I was 6 months, my father, actually, he shot himself. So I never met him. I didn't know anything about him other than tidbits of what, you know, my mom would tell me. Many people didn't share a lot about that because of, I guess, who he was, which I learned, you know, later as I grew up. But growing up, I was told that I was so much like him. Now, how could I be like someone who I've never met? How can I dislike and like the same fruits and foods, and even down to the orange Kool-Aid, which apparently in the family I was the only one that liked besides him? You know, how did all of that come into play? Well, that's because he is a part of my foundation. I picked up specific traits from this man that I didn't meet, that I was consciously able to meet a day in my life. From what I understand, some of my ways and my attitudes are just of him. But again, how would I know that that's not someone I met? Well, the fact is, he is a part of my foundation. Now, my mom, which is who I grew up with, I picked up many of her behaviors and habits, both conscious and unconsciously. And this is what we tend to do when we grow up, right? So the truth is, no matter how much you try to deny what's in you, it's there. Now, that does not mean that that is who you are. It's just the mixture in your cement. So think of your foundation as your cement. The genetic traits that you get is a mixture in your cement. The behaviors that you pick up is a part of the mixture of your cement. Even the things that you really kind of stray off from, that goes into the mixture of your cement. Now, once that has been solidified, most of the time, people just continue to build on top of it. Every once in a while, if you've ever watched commercials, they have them companies that come out and they readjust your foundation. Why? Because our foundation will forever change, shift, and alter based upon what we do inside of our house. Our house meaning inside of ourselves. We are a mixture of many things. So let me ask you this, and I want you to really think about this. What are you anchored to? What is something that you can really not tear away from? What can you not get away from? What is just in you? And you sit there and you look at yourself like, ah, I know better. I just can't get away from it. What is that thing? I really want you to think about it. So, accepting and understanding your foundation allows you to build on your foundation. Now, acceptance does not equal condoning. And I want you all to hear that again. Acceptance does not equal condoning. Just because you're able to look at yourself and accept bits and pieces of that foundational truth does not mean that you condone whatever behaviors that you're trying to run from, that's in your history, that's in your DNA, and that's a part of you, whether it be things that you learned consciously and unconsciously, or that you purposely want to do. There are some people in our families that we want to model. We want to be just like them because, oh my gosh, they're so successful. They're amazing. They're nice. They're sweet. But let's remember, they have their own foundation that they're building on. So just take bits and pieces of that and add it to your cement mixture. Add it into some of the cracks that may be in your already foundation. Add it into the cracks because, again, over time, we always need to shift and adjust our foundation to ensure that it is steady. So to deny any of your traits that you're running from is to continually have an unbalanced foundation. So we want to remember that at the end of it all, the foundational truth is you are who you are. And it is perfectly okay that you build upon the foundation that you have started. One principle I live by is your past will not define your future, but it will always be a part of your foundation. So if you did not already, I want you to definitely grab a piece of paper and a pen, something to write with, because I have an activity that I want to share with you all that I want you to try. Yes, I'm going to kind of give you the full gamut, but I want you to try this on your own. And I would love for you to reach back out to me to tell me how this turned out. Okay, so the activity is I want you to get either 4 cups or 4 miniature pots, like you would put plants in. So 4 little cups or just 4 pots. And I want you to get 4 of the exact same seed, preferably something kind of easy to grow that sprouts pretty soon. So in those 4 pots, this is what I need. 1 pot or cup is going to have dirt that you just get from outside of your home. So anywhere, front, backyard, whatever. The second pot, I want you to put store-bought potting soil. So something that is already full with nutrients and all kinds of goodies. In the third pot, I want you to put a mixture of the home dirt and the potting soil. I want those mixed together in the third cup. And then in the 4th cup or 4th pot, I want you to put nothing. So again, we have 4 cups or 4 pots, miniature little pots. In the first pot, we're going to put some dirt that we pulled out of the front or backyard. In the second pot, we're going to put some store-bought potting soil. In the third pot, we're going to mix regular old dirt with that potting soil. And then in the 4th pot or cup, we're just going to put absolutely nothing. So then I want you to notice that in the first pot, you'll probably have more work on the front end because you're going to have to clear away whatever grass is growing out in your front yard. So everything that comes with that dirt, you're going to have to maintain within that pot. You put it in the control pot, but you're going to maintain that. You got to take out all the grass seeds and all the weeds that's going to grow, because that's going to grow around the seed that you're planting. You'll notice in that second pot, it's going to be easier on the front end because you're not going to have any added extra stuff growing, but you're going to have more work on the back end because this is that good soil. So you have to continue to maintain it. And in order to make that seed grow, you have to do all kinds of good things to it. So the maintenance is going to be on the back end. So what you may notice in your mix pot is you're going to have a good mixture of what to do. You're going to have to maintain it a little bit on the front end, maybe not as much because you have that good pot and soil mixed in, which is what you bring to your foundation along with your foundation. But you're also going to have to do a little bit of maintenance on the back end, not as much. Why? Because typically that dirt outside has its own nutrients already built into it. So you may not have to do as much, but you have to do a little bit because that pot and soil still needs a little bit added to it. So that's a true balance. And then in your little naked cup with the seed, you'll probably notice that nothing at all is going to happen. Why? Because there's no foundation at all. So as you look at those 4 cups, and please make sure you label them so you know the difference. As you look at those 4 cups and you see what starts to grow, you'll understand that if I continue on the path of just what I picked up via genetics and what I've learned consciously and unconsciously, if I continue on that path, I'm going to forever be cleaning away weeds and whatever else, baggage, all kinds of stuff that I've watched whoever I've been watching go through. I'm going to forever be combating that. Then you're going to see in that second pot, while I don't have any of those heavy maintenance on the front end, I have to keep up this facade because I just threw away who I was foundationally. And I created this persona without any kind of indication of my history or my past involved. And I may not even know what to do with this persona that I've created. And then you'll see in that third pot, I have a mixture. I've taken what I have genetically and what I'm learning consciously and unconsciously, mixed in with what I've created on my own. I mixed it all together. And so I have a well balance. But then if I decide to just deny it altogether in that little naked cup, then my seed will not grow at all. So I say all that to say that the foundational truth for all of us is it is important that we face what it is that we want to deny or run from. It is not until we can face that, accept and acknowledge it, that we can truly build a steady place for ourselves in the world moving forward. Yes, it may be hard to break away from those things that we have just grown to know or what we watched growing up because it's comfortable, it's easy. But when you think about, would you rather have a whole bunch of maintenance, keep on cleaning weeds, or would you rather have, I got a whole lot of things to do on the back end. I'm always going, never have time for myself. Or do you want that balance? Or do I want to deny everything and just never grow? So then I have another activity for you. So your second activity is, I want you to write about those family members or traits that you've been denying and running from. Write them wherever you want to. Typically, I would like you to put them on a piece of paper. So I want you to take that piece of paper. I want you to read it out loud until you accept and acknowledge it. After you have accepted and acknowledged, not condone, but after you have accepted and you've acknowledged that trait or those family members, I want you to burn that piece of paper. And I want you to add it to the mixture pot. So your pot number 3, or sprinkle it across all of them. Because what I want you to do is take all of that, put it in your soil and watch it grow. As you watch that grow, I want you to think about yourself because you're also going to be growing internally. Do we have any questions about all of what we just went through?
Can you just repeat the second task that you asked us to do, like write down?
Repeat the second task.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the second task, we are going to write down on a piece of paper any of those family members or family traits that you've been denying, like saying, you know what, I ain't related to so and so, or I don't do that. And you know in your heart of hearts you do. So write those down on a piece of paper, list them out. I want you to read that list every day, just once a day. Don't beat it into yourself, just once a day, until you have accepted and acknowledged those family members or traits. And remember, acceptance is not condoning. So once you've accepted and acknowledged those family members or those traits, I want you to burn that piece of paper and I want you to add it to your pots from activity 1. And if you continue to keep those pots, as we grow, we outgrow our pots, right? So now we need to upgrade our foundation a little bit, but it's always going to contain some of our old foundation. So just a quick recap of what we did today. Today was day 1 of our 4-day The Power of You Emergence webinar series. It is truly going to be 4 days, 4 different topics that will lead to you understanding the power that you possess inside of you. Because again, we do sometimes when we are looking for guidance and we're looking for support, we're looking externally and we truly forget what we have inside of us. Some of those foundational truths that we run from and we try to deny may be just what we need to get our balance in life and to build upon. This all has been recorded. It will be available for replay on my Coach K school. I have someone that's going to be invited up as a speaker, so welcome. So for everyone here, I do have a very special offer for you because this ties into the boot camp that I have, which is called Own Your Ish Sis boot camp. That boot camp is 5 weeks of foundational steps to help you to build yourself with support. And for you being here on this, you will get 40% off of that boot camp. That boot camp, if you go to ownyourishsis.com, just read about it. If you're ready to move forward and you click go to the school, at checkout, if you put in Emerge 40, it will take 40% off. That will end on tomorrow. And of course, we have our day 2 tomorrow. And day 2 is going to be The Curse Cannot Hold You. And you will see how each day we go forward, it's going to connect to the previous day. And by the end, you're going to say, okay, I got this. I get it. What I am is what I am. I am powerful. And this is how I use my power. Again, my name is Coach K, sexuality coach. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say thank you. I had no idea what was going to go on in this talk, but I needed it. So I'm going to research this and go to the ownyourish.com, ownyourishsis.com.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Coach K.
Well, I appreciate you for being here, and make sure you come back tomorrow for day 2, because this is 4 days. We're going to walk into 2021 with a whole purpose. People are going to see us in 2021. We're not going to, huh?
I said that sounds great.
Oh, yeah. It's not new year, new you. It is truly new year, better version of you. And that's what this whole series is all about. So if you have the link for this, make sure you share it with anyone who you know will be able to benefit from being here. If you need the link, just shoot me a text. My number is 804-967-4551, or whichever way you found me. You can contact me. Again, it's 804-967-4551. I will send you that link. I definitely appreciate you all for being here. Before we shut this down, do we have any questions or anything that anyone has questions about, even if it's not specifically this topic that you'd like to talk about?
So tomorrow it's going to be in the same time, the next topic?
Yes, tomorrow, same time, same back channel.
Okay, the same link, right?
Yes, same link. And if for whatever reason it does not work, you just reach out to me directly and I'll make sure you get in.
Okay, can I reach out to you on LinkedIn?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I thank you all so much for being here. I respect everyone's time. We kept it nice and sweet and short. Remember, if you want to get more information on that boot camp, which is what this is a full version of what this mini version is, which is at ownyourishsis.com. If you're ready to move forward with that, if you enter the code EMERGE40, that takes 40% off. If you need to contact me for any reason, all of my information is out in the world. Feel free to contact me. I thank you all for being here, and I will see you tomorrow at 6:30.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Again, I thank you all for joining us tonight for this day one of the Power of You Emergence series, the foundational truth. I hope that you found a lot of valuable information in this. I definitely hope that you are going to watch all 4 days, but of course that is totally up to you. And if you want to know more about the Own Your Ish Sis Bootcamp, which is right here on this school, definitely click over to that link or just go to ownyourishsis.com. Read more about it, and always feel free to reach out to me directly. Again, my name is Coach K. I so appreciate your time, and I'll see you tomorrow.